My name is Ed Del Castillo. I'm the president of Liquid Entertainment and one of its creative directors. So started at 1991 at Minecraft, a little company that not a whole lot of people know about, working on games like Siege and Ambush and really real-time strategy before anybody was calling it that. And in '94 moved to Westwood and was the producer on Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and all the expansion packs for those products, and as you might imagine, the ports as well.
Ed was perfect for this role because of his work on Command & Conquer, Red Alert, the expansion packs for those games, Sid Meier's Gettysburg. He's had a lot of experience looking at, working with, designing, analyzing, critiquing strategy and real-time strategy games in particular. In addition, he was also like a dungeon master back in the day for Dungeons and Dragons and GURPS and all those types of games. I actually played in one of his campaigns at Westwood, and there's a huge spark of creativity there. He's very good at coming up with new ideas, making them fit into a cohesive universe, and combining all things together. So from that aspect, we were really lucky.
Later moved on to Origin and worked with Sid Meier on Sid Meier's Gettysburg for a while, and then worked with Richard Garriott on Ultima Ascension, and then decided it was time to start a company, and so here we are. It's the equivalent of having to survive out in the wild instead of being kind of a house cat, you know, having to be like kind of like a wildcat. It's a lot more fend for yourself, and I think that the thing that Mike and I didn't really count on was just how much invisible work, how much, you know, insurances, 401k, HR, how much of that stuff starts taking up your time. And so it's been a real challenge to manage that and still stay in the game, because quite honestly, the part that I really enjoy is building the game.
I started off my career in the video game industry working at Westwood Studios. I got lucky, I got an entry-level position there, working on Corindia 2 CD, and I stayed there for about 5.5 years. I worked on a couple of the Corindia games, Blade Runner, Monopoly CD-ROM, Lands of Lore 2 I worked on a little bit, and I worked on the pirate game that they're working on now, which has been completely revamped since I worked on it. And then about 2.5 years ago, I started up Liquid Entertainment with my partner Ed, and we've been working on Battle Realms pretty much since then.
I mean, we had gotten to the point where real-time strategy was taking a very iterative turn, and we wanted to put some innovation back into it. There's a lot of things that we thought, why isn't this in? You know, the new technology really allows it to be 3D and do all these kind of cool things, you know, like the effects of height and the forests and all the things that we added to the game, and basically a living world. And no one had integrated that stuff yet, and we just thought, wow, what an opportunity here we have, you know, to create our own universe and to put some of this new stuff that the technology will allow.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to compete with the big boys. We're trying to show people that a startup can do a game as well as Blizzard and Westwood and Ensemble Studios can. We're definitely trying to compete in the market of an Age of Empires or Warcraft 3.
You know, it's always hard to kind of come up with an assessment, because it did take 2.5 years. But if I had to say it, I don't think I've ever worked on a project that I've been more excited by, more enthused by, and more, you know, knock on wood here. It feels really fun. One of our plans is always to make Battle Realms better, make the Battle Realms line better. I think that there's a lot to be done in real-time strategy yet, and there's a long way to go still before we really get the perfect real-time strategy. So we would be happy, you know, if people wanted to play in the Battle Realms universe for many years to come. But other than that, you know, I won't lie to you. I think that some of our guys here would like to do a console product, and we have thought about doing a console product. We've actually pitched some to different publishers with varying degrees of success. Right now is a tough time because it's a little, you know, the economy and what's happening is making people a little nervous on that front. But I think that if Battle Realms is successful, you're going to see potentially a console product from us. And long term, beyond that, you know, we're talking about maybe 3 teams, becoming somebody, but first and foremost, becoming somebody that gamers respect. You know, we started this business because we thought that people were forgetting about the gamer and forgetting about the fact that quality is king. And if there was one thing that I want this company to stand for, is quality. I want people to look at the Liquid logo on a box and go, you know what? I know that whatever's in that box is going to be really, really good. And you know, it's kind of, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it kind of comes from, my parents are first generation immigrants, and they have always taught me that if you do good work, you will be rewarded, and that if you didn't do good work, it wasn't worth doing to begin with, and you shouldn't do it. And that's a philosophy that I'm trying to bring here, is that if it's not a good game, why are we building it? If we don't believe in it, why are we building it? You know, we've been lucky enough to partner with a publisher who is allowing us to do that, and as long as we can, we will do that, you know. And it just doesn't, I know I'm going over this point over and over again, but it just doesn't mean anything to me if we can't build good games.